Okay, so by Sri Lord Krishna's grace in the 6th chapter, um, which is Atma Samyama Yoga, or it is called Dhyana Yoga, we have finished up to the 6th shloka in the last class. And as we said again, from the previous one again, just giving you a little bit of context from the previous ones. In this Atma Samyama Yoga or Dhyana Yoga or meditation yoga, Krishna is preparing both a seeker, that is a person who is in the process of doing the karma yoga, and a person who has kind of completed the karma yoga and is ready for going into sannyasa. And that person Bhagavan calls as yoga arudaha. Arudaha means one who has ascended or one who has climbed, who has already reached. Arudaha, climbed. And another is arurukshaha. Arurukshaha means that he is now in the process of climbing. Maybe he's in the first step, maybe he's in the 100th step, we don't know. He's in the process of climbing up, and he has got the icha, and he has got the sankalpa and that vairagyam, and he's ascending. And so for both of them, the meditation and when we say nididhyasanam, this marga or this chapter is useful. Okay, and it is more, and Bhagavan will he will kind of advise as in the shlokas that it comes how it is beneficial. So this chapter is very much beneficial for all the people who are in the process of doing this karma yoga. And in this full chapter, Krishna is going to concentrate a lot on this yoga. Yoga means this Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, but in a manner that is completely founded with the knowledge of Atmajnana, not just a physical or a mental or a kind of a exercise. Though he will he'll talk about lot of control and how this is the factors which helps a seeker in different stages, but he will also give that everywhere. That is why he said, again, just going on this, and some of the shabda, as we go in these shlokas, we should be very careful in the shabda, especially Atma. So I told you also in the last class, just in this shloka number 5 and 6, the Atma Shabdam, in that whole of them, is not the Nirguna, the ultimate Atma, which is the abstract sense. This is in a very relative sense that he uses Atma, and the context keep changing in every half quartlet. Very important. So when he says, number 1, Atmana, Atmanam Uddharet, then you must understand Atmana, that is by the Atma, your Atma uplift. So which Atma to which Atma? That in the first sense, the Atma, I explained in the last class as well. In this this constant Atmana, meaning to say, in that means it is the Atma Jnanena, that Jnanam, that which has got the foundation. Not just a kind of I'm just going to somehow lift. No, it is not. What are you lifting? Whom? How? So it is that knowledge which can uplift. It's that, and the vairagya, which that steadfast control, shodum shaknoti, in the previous one we saw, that can come with only that conviction of knowledge. You can't cheat yourself. We can't cheat ourselves. So with that knowledge, steadfast in that conviction, Atmanam, meaning to say the body, mind, and faculty in the Indriya, Uddharet, uplift. So that you lift. Uddharet means Aruruksha, you're climbing up. So in ascending this ladder to the Atma Arudaha, what is very important is the Atma Jnanam. And every other faculties are exercised along with that. They act in synchronous to give us that upliftment in this birth. Okay. So that's very important that you just go back to the last class one that you will understand. So let's proceed on to, and the same what is said in the number 5. So that's why in one place he said that same Atma is like a bandhu, that is a relation, and it is also like a Shatru. Meaning to say Atma never becomes Shatru. It is that Atma Jnana which is not embedded with the right knowledge. So that is why we should be very careful in understanding this. And the foundation is very simple. It's the Atma Jnanam with which the Viveka Buddhi, with which we get the Vairagya. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. So coming to the 7th shloka and proceeding further, Chitatmanaf Prashantasya Paramatma Samahitaha Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tata Manapamanayo. Once more. Chitatmanah prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata manapamanayo. So this verses 7, 8, and 9 is praising that particular yoga arudaha, keeping him as a mentor, keeping him as our goal of his qualities in our mind. Because when you ascend, you want to have some goals fixed. So, okay, I need to be like this, and that is still you're in process, but you know these are the indicators of the goal. So Bhagavan says, this yoga arudaha, Arjuna, you know how he is controlled and how he attained. He is Shitoshna. Shita means, cold. Ushna means in heat. Sukha. So may go in whatever that is comfortable or luxurious. Dukkeshu, which is normally not comfortable for humans. Dukkeshu Tata, in the similar manner, mana apamana yoho. In somebody who is praising him and showering him with very good words, and another person who is scolding him, or scolding means abusing him. In the society, it happens. It is, you cannot escape from these two. When he is subjected to all these conditions of dualities, which is with good, bad, and ugly, and medium, whatever it is, what is he? He is a prashantaha, prashantasya. That prashantasya, of that person, shantim, prakrishena shantihi asya prashantaha. So, prasannanta antakaranasya prasannantaha. Only if he is not that externally he is having that calmness and quietness, it is right from inside. That complete shantam inside. Whatever happens, this is to this body. This body is temporal. All this kind of things, and that maybe this person is going. Why, it doesn't matter. So all those sort of things, and so is that Atma Jnanam with the which he says, my Atma, he can never. My identity is with that. With that one, he can never abuse, or that can never be touched. With that kind of a practice, he is a prashanta. Shantasya. With that is a jitatmanaha. So because of this, he does not react to such jitatmanaha, because if you do not have a prashantam, you will not be able to remain quiet without any reaction. So jitatmanaha, because it's jitatmanaha, his reaction is very neutral. Meaning to say, it may appear as if how he needs to handle the situation, he will handle. It's not that he's just walking like a robot with nothing, no emotions, but he handles it very cleverly with no reactions that will hamper him. The reactions are very measured, controlled, and unafflicting to either to himself or to others. That is jitatmanaha in this sense, because he is subjected to that dualities. Jitatmanaha and Paramatma Samahitaha. In this person, that Paramatma, the Parabrahman, the Ishwaraha, that Nirguna Brahman, Atma, Paramatma, in that Samahitaha means he is Sakshat Atma Bhavena Vartate. So Samahitaha means Sakshat Atma bhavena vartate, meaning to say, yes, God said, sakshat anubhuti, sakshatkar. That is what samahitaha means really. Because that Atma sakshatkaram, that aparokshanubhuti, these are words some of you might have heard, that which is God is complete in him. Okay. So that is why he is like that. And then again, going more into the next one, again for the yoga arudaha is lakshanam. Jnana vijnana triptatma utastho vijitendriyaha yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloshthashma kanchanaha. Again, in this one, how he handles and how this kind of his quality is developed because of number one, jnanam. In this jnanam and vijnanam, we must understand. And then the triptatma. Jnanam means Shastrokta padarthanam parijnatam, meaning to say, whatever that he has come from the Shravanam, meaning to say, the first knowledge, first-hand knowledge that he has grasped with the Shraddha from Guru Vakyam, from the Shastram and that Jnanam. And Vijnanam is when that knowledge has been applied by him and the Viveka that arises from that. That is the Vijnanam. That now that Jnanam ripens to Vijnanam. When the Jnanam ripens with the Karma Yoga, all these Patanjali, Ashtanga Yoga, everything, that's the margam to make the Jnanam into Vijnanam. We are all in the process of ripening the Jnanam to Vijnanam. Jnanam can be shared between even the books, between Guru, Sishya, to one, to other and everything. But Vijnanam is, if it is antastam. Only one person, maybe the Guru knows to measure the Sishya. But Vijnanam is completely internal. It is non-transactable. And with that Vijnanam only, he is a Triptatma. Triptatma means he is a alam bhave. I mean, he's got that alam, enough buddhi. And that's what Krishna will say. It's not that he is everything in mita, alam. So, in fact, his happiness is nothing but that capacity to say, this is enough. Whatever happens, that enough buddhi is the triptatma. Whatever that it comes from the praptam. Yat praptam tat triptam. That is a triptatma. And with that triptatma, he is a kutastaha. Kutastaha means he is not unshaken by any of these environment that normally subjugated any normal human being. All the Shitoshna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apamana. So Kutastaha, again, there is one, Kutastaha will come in chapter 15, there it's a different meaning. Here Kutastaha means that I told you, that person who is not shaken, Avikampa, that is, he does not get shaken. He's so steadfast in that Atma Jnanam. And for that, Shankara also said, it is like, when in the olden days, you have seen how they grind that oil from the, the check, or that, in the center, there is a big one. In that, you see the central pivoting one, from there it goes, that remains stable, but everything else goes around and grinding. So he compares that. It's as if the pivotal point in him, which remains tight, but there is some movement of the environment and also his mana, chittam, everything. It keeps moving around. It has to, as far as the life is there. But that pivotal point is so steady that he is not shaken. So it is like the pivotal point of the Atmajnanam is Kutastaha. Kutastaha, because of that, he does not get shaken. But the Indriyas can shake around because it has to react and act, but he is not shaken. And because of that, he is a Vijitendriyaha. Again, it is same as the previous one, the Jitendriyaha, that he has won over, mastered himself of all these Indriyas, the Indriyas in his control, and that pivotal control. The pivotal control, when it wants, can take it back. When the pivotal control wants it to release, it can go and talk. When it does not want, it can see or it can need not see. It can hear, and what it needs to grasp and not grasp, that is Vijitendriya. He knows what to grasp and what to let loose. The Indriyas does not draw him out. The Indriyas doesn't draw him in. He draws them out and draws them in. That is Vijitendriya. And this Vijitendriya, because of that, he is a Sama, Loshta, Ashma, Kanchanaha. In fact, the Samaloshtasma Kanchanaha, it comes, okay, I'll give you the meaning first. Sama means, equal. He has a Samabhavana, Samatva Bhava. That he has got an equal vision in what Loshta means sand. In Tamil, they say Purudi, right? That Loshtam. Meaning to say it's a sand. It's a sand. Ashman, Ashma means, because it's a together word, but otherwise it's called Ashman. Ashman means stone. Meaning to say anything precious, gem. Kanchanaha, gold. In those days, the money was going in gold. So when you take Samaloshta, he has got an equality. In the Loshtam means you have to take it as a property, your house, because that's made out of sand and mortar. So in the context of this, his property or his house or anything that he owns, Ashman, whatever valuable worth that he has got it in his possession, that is, you think, because the jewels or the gems which is so rare is very precious to you, he does not consider it of any value. And Kanchanaha, literally the money, the worth that can be transacted. So he has got the equality in this all three. So in Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, that is our Parameshti Guru in Sringeri Shankaracharya, in his Ashtottara Shatanamavali, in the 104th Nama, it comes Samaloshtasma Kanchanaya Namaha. It comes there. To Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, it comes. So the same thing taken from this place in Gita, Samaloshtasma Kanchanaya Namaha. It comes. So we think of him at this when it comes there. So then he is a yogi. He is truly a yogi. Yoga Arudaha, yogi. He is a yoga Arudaha. Yoga Arudaha Yuktaha. Meaning to say Samahitaha. The Samahitaha and Yuktaha same. So Atma Bhavena, Antakaranena, Atma Bhavena, Sakshatkara. That is a Yuktaha. He is Yogarudaha iti Uchyate. Iti, that is how he is being described. And then one more. How he has got that equality vision. He one is be said in material objects, right? The Samatva Bhava in the Samaroshtatma Kanchana. Next, he is talking in the people and the other that he meets with. And Sukhrun Mitrar Yudasina Madhyastattveshya Bandhushu Sadushvapi Chapapeshu Samabuddhir Visishyate. Once more. Suhrun Mitrar Yudasina Madhyastattveshya Bandhushu. This whole thing, the first one is one word. The first padam, the first one is all one word. Sometimes one vakyam in one becomes a word. This is one padam. Then Sadushvapi Chapapeshu Samabuddhir Visishyate. That is why when I chant this one, we don't stop. So you shouldn't say Sukran Mitra Yudasina Madhyastha. No, you should say it together, but slightly. Sukran Mitra Yudasina Madhyastattveshya Bandhushu, like that. Just for your thing. Because it is one padam. Big samasa padam. We need to say a compound word. So in that, let's go one by one word. Sukhran. These are very beautiful, when you analyze these things. Sukhran means, what is the difference between a Sukhran and Mitra? Both are looking like friends. But Shankara in the Bhashya very clearly said, Sukhrat means He's a benefactor or he's a friend without any expectation for anything in return. Even you might have scolded him, you haven't done anything, but he is always only talks beneficial to you. He is a suhran, like your mother and father. But you have people like that with you, right? In your life, you come across in work very well. So he is a suhran. Irrespective, he respects you. He will always do good to you, or she will do good to you. That is suhran. And mitra. Mitra is a friend with a true heart, but he can be sometime, it depends upon how you act. If you are not being friendly, he won't be friendly. But Sugran is not like, if you are not being friendly, also he will be friendly. Mitra is reciprocal friendship. And then Udasina. Sorry, Sugran, Mitra, Ari. Mitrari, Ari becomes Ar. Ari Udasina, Aryudasina. Yansandi. Ari means is a cruel enemy. If he looks at you, he will ready to do any harm to you. Bodily, mentally, physically, financially, whatever he can do. He is ever. So there are enemies like that. Ari. And Udasina. Udasina means he is like indifferent. You know, we have a lot of people like that in your own family, in your own friends. Udasina means he is indifferent to both good and bad. Or when you talk to him also, he says, whatever it happened, he just, he just Udasina. He's not either reacting positive, negative. He doesn't care. Don't care. Udasina. And then Madhyastha. Madhyastha is a person when there is a conflict, because Udasina Madhyastha all comes when there are a problem, when there is a difficulty of doing either this or that. Then you ask him, he'll say, I don't know, you do whatever you want, I don't care. Madhyastha is not like that. He is looking in the beneficial of both the person. And he wants to do a good intermediary job so that both the person who are in conflict will end up and benefit out of that. He is a Madhyastha. And Dveshya. And this person is a very harmful person than even Ari. And the drunkard, very sadistic fellow, you can say. That Dveshya and Desha Bandushu. And he is a very good relative for you. Okay. In all these things, and Sadhushu, then Sadhushu. Sadhushu means good Dharmatma. He obeys by the scripts, by the Shastra. He is always goes in the dharmic principles only. He is a Sadhushu. And Papeshu. He is a person who is always doing all the wrongful deeds. Because when you say Papeshu, it is not that we are going to term someone as a papi or something like that, but he is there all the time drawing into sins, acts which are adharmic. So Papeshu mean that person who is adharmic. Api, Papeshu api, charge number 7, sorry, 7 and 7.1. Api, Samabuddhihi, api, Samabuddhihi. He has got a equal vision of all of them. Meaning to say, he looks at only these as if it is arising from the Upadhi. So he only looks at the Upahitam, meaning to say the Atma. And with that upadana sarvatma sarvabhutatma bhutayaha, he is a visishyate. He is a very special person, this yoga rudaha, because of that. So Bhagavan is praised in 789 today. In this first half an hour, what we have seen is that yoga rudasya lakshanani. Okay. Then that pattern, now Bhagavan says now how this person or as yoga aruruksha, I believe, start the practice of the ultimate yoga or the meditation. That Bhagavan is going to go from shloka number 10. yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitah ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigrahah. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitah ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigrahah. These are beautiful places from Bhagavad Gita that you keep in mind whenever we are doing, because we do meditation, we do dhyanam, we do japa and everything. But in this context of this, we must understand truly how Gita is advocating and preach and really advising for meditation preparation, everything. It may be possible today, but whatever possible, that's what even Omkaranda Swami says. And in these ones, when we come, it may appear that it may not be possible, but to the extent. That's what we have to say. So first one is, he says that before he starts into a meditation or a nididhyasanam or samadhi, we'll come more into that one. Yata chittatma. Again, yata chittatma means here, yata itself, I mean to say control. Chittam means here the body, mind and indriya. Atma, yata chitta atma means that person, that's all. Yata chitta atma, that person who has mastered over his mind, body and senses and controlled in that state. At least in the state that he is ready to do doing the meditation. That he has got it very quietened. So they are all in a state of tranquility and they are in a sattvic position. That's why we say in the mornings, in the Brahma Muhurtam, or that in the dawn and the dusk time, the external factors conducive to that peacefulness and quietness. And use that time to continuously exert the faculties in that direction. So, yata chittatma hitam in the Brahma Muhurtam in the Sayam Sandhya Kale. Yata chittatma. And nirashihi. He is devoid of any wishes. In the morning itself, when he gets up, oh God, what do I do today? What are the appointments? Oh God, where do I have to go? Whom do I see? Oh, at this time, how long is going to travel? Nothing of that sort. So I'm just coming into our day-to-day one. But really, if it takes my yoga arudaha, he is in completely like a sannyasi who has completely gone to a nirashi. But at least for us preparing for a meditation at that time, he has got no ashi. No ashi means no wish. Absolutely no absolute belongings. So nirashihi. So nirashihi is purely talking, is a sannyasi. But for us, at least in our grihastha, that particular no thoughts of what is the activity that is to be planned for that day or for that month or anything. Nirashihi. And the third one, aparigraha, with no absolute belongings. So looking at all this only, Shankara also said, and Omkara Swami says, this shloka seems like this is purely destined for only a sannyasi. If I have to go by the rules of this 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, while studying for meditation, but use it to the extent that it is possible. That's what he says. So aparigraha, meaning to say, without parigraha means that he has got some belonging. Aparigraha means that he has got no nothing to grasp for. In fact, that's what one day I went to one of those yoga shops and they were selling a bag and the bag was named as aparigraha. I said, look, the word and what you put in there is completely repelling meaning. Aparigraha means you don't hold anything and you are giving a bag and put the name aparigraha. That means he has to drop the bag. So aparigraha means he does not have any kind of a baggage that it is got in his mind that he is holding on to. Neither a wish nor that anything that he has got any belonging unto him. Aparigraha. And these are all coming in the Yamaniyama Asana. That also we will see in the Patanjali Yoga. So Bhagavan takes in these chapter may not be exactly as per the Patanjali Yoga Sutra in the order, but he like Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, not in that one, but he will take it every now and then. I will refer. So here also is a Pratyahara in a way. So Nirashira Aparigraha, and this yogi who is going to now sit for meditation, or the meditator in this. So in this yogi, you can take a yoga aruda yogi or yoga aruruksha yogi. You can take that yogi. What does he do then? Ekaki has to be alone. The meditation is always done alone. So Omkarananda Swami again. So Ekaki in the Bhashyam, what it says is he is alone by himself in a very dense forest, or in a place that no human or anything that is coming, in that kind of a place. No, the place with no jana sancharam. That kind of a place he says Ekaki. So that is why in all these things, while taking it, says it is mostly a sannyasi who is in a cave or in a dense forest. But in our relative one, we can take as much as possible into a room that is being dedicated, or in a place where there is no disturbance of people or anything to disturb us. So that is ekaki. So that is why when these days, when we see group meditation and all those things, he says it is not possible. Omkarana very clearly says there's nothing like group meditation. It could be a kind of a psychological, mental relaxation. Like, when you do a shavasana after the yogasana, it is something like that. But it can't be meditation. He very clearly says, you have to be ekaki. There is no samashti dhyana, no. There is no samashti, it's always vyashti. Because Gita Pramanam. So, ekaki, then also, rahasi sthitaha. He is in secret. Is in a place where it is completely not when anyone knows. That is why he questions if this is possible for a grahastha. But having said that, it is said here, that's why we got to go. Rahasi sthitaha. He does not even say where he is while doing this meditation. In a very secretive, so that he does not get disturbed by anyone. It's not that he's going to tell everybody, okay, I'm going there, none of you should disturb, please, I'm going. Nothing. Rahasi sthitaha. Rahasi sthitaha. And what else? What does he say? Rahasi sthitaha atmanam. Number 8, satatam yunjita. This yunjita is a agnya. That is, it is a command. Bhagavan says, atmanam satatam yunjita. Here, atmanam means the param, that particular absolute atmanam. Satatam, no. Sat here, atmanam satatam yunjita means draw all this mind, body, and all of the atman into the absolute. Yunjita itself is means yogi. Yunjita is when at that yogam, atmanam yunjita. Draw all of them, the body, mind, and faculties into that atmanam yunji, satatam yunjita, satatam, always. Because that meditation, what you do, is then prolonged after that time. He does a meditation probably for 15 minutes or half an hour, 1 hour, but afterwards also that effect continues in him. And this is what when There is a book by famous, I think most of you from Sringeri, you might have seen, Yoga Meditation by, our Abhinav Vidyatita Mahaswamiji. So in that again, he says, when he was to do this, his guru, Chandrasekhar Bharati Swamiji, is to tell him, I believe, when you do the meditation, when you get up from the meditation and walk, you walk like as if you are like a wave in this big ocean, and that just this body is moving. And when you talk with someone, when you interact with someone, it is just that different. Or when you see any objects, they are just nothing but that beads which are in that linked by that Brahman. So with that, he interacts and he educates him how he prolong that way, that kind of meditation into the when the state. So here what Bhagavan, when he say, because he has said satatam, meaning to say always, it is not only for applicable for a definite period of time, whether it be 5 minutes or 50 minutes or 5 hours. Time is immaterial. Satatam injita. It's a meditation which is drawn towards for the rest of the day or rest of the life or months or days. That is what he says, satatam yunjita. That is the power of that kind of a meditation. And also, in preparing for the meditation, what Bhagavan says, Shuchau deshe pratishtapya sthiramasanamatmanaha natyuchritam nati nicham tailajina kushottaram. So here Bhagavan in the 10th shloka, he kind of made the sankalpa of meditation, how that will be satatam. And in the 11th is when he is going to sit as in the asanam. So that has to start from that place where he is going to start that meditation, or in the nididhyasanam. This is very much a what can I say, a physical activity to start. So first thing he says, Shuchau deshe. Shuchau deshe means that which is a place which is purified. And that is why he says, for example, in a tirtha, or in a place which is being purified by so many yogis, so many seers, so many monks who have gone and sat there. Their samskara itself makes that place pure. Or in our daily practice, where you can do Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loke Devi Tvam Vishnuna Dhrita Tvam Chadaraya Mam Devi Pavitram Chasanam Kuru. You can chant that and chant that asana. So Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loke Devi Tvam Vishnuna Dhrita. That Bhuma Devi, Vishnuna Dhrita. You are holding this whole Bhumi because of Vishnu. Prithvi, that Prithvi, Bhumi, Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loke, this whole Loka, Vishnuna Dhrita, Tvamcha Dharayamam, you please uphold me now on this Bhumi. Pavitram cha asanam kuru. Please, oh Bhuma Devi, make this asanam as a pavitram and then sit for meditation. That's what we can do in our home. So I'm just applying these things to practically how we can take it. I'll probably send that shloka to you afterwards. Every time you sit for anything, puja or shloka, chanting, anything, I mean, of course, not that fast. I mean, with the meaning, pavitram chasanam kuru, like that, and then sit. So, suchau deshe, number 1, 2. Then number 3, the Chailajana Kushottaram has to be reversed in the Kramam, and that's what even our Bhashyam it says. What it says, Kusha grass, Darba grass. Kusha grass, Darbasanam. So these are all sattvic in material, which are conducive for further meditation, the sattvic. So one is the mantra purva shuddhi of the Bhumi. Bhumi is always Shuddhi, but Mantra Purva or Samskara Shuddhi by that. And then what we can say, the object you are meditating, these are recommended. Kushau, meaning to say the Darbasana, because the Darba has got that kind of a beautiful power. Even the better it's called Pavitram. The darba grass itself is pavitram. So kusha, that pavitra asanam, kusha, and then on top of the kusha, he says ajinam. Ajina means the deer skin. On top of kusha mat, ajinam, that deer skin. On top of that, chailam. Chailam means cloth. That's how the Tamil word comes, selai, chaila. Chaila means it's a cotton cloth. So darba grass on top of deer skin, on top of it, just a plain cloth of something. That, so uttaram. Kusha, ajina, chaila, uttaram. You should take it. That's why I put 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So that kind of a asanam is very conducive, Krishna says. In fact, some people, sannyasis, in those days, they even use a tiger skin. So tiger skin is used for to say the vairagyam. And deer skin is used for that satvikness. You can get it. I have a deer skin at home. I can get from some of the, there is one called market here. There, you know, you would not believe me. Even when my brother, because when the deer naturally when it dies, there is some deer park. If you book with him, he will give you when a deer dies, and then they do that and give it to you. I got one. And when we were talking to him, he asked me in Australia only, "Oh, are you a Muslim?" I said, "Why?" He said, "A lot of Muslims come and buy." So you see, even Muslims, they use deer skin for their namaz or whatever it is. So there is some Visheshanam in that. I'm just telling you for people, that's all. So Chailashana Kushotaram, Kusha Ajina Chaila Uttaram. And then again Bhagavan says, Nat Uchritam. Na ati uchritam, meaning to say not very on a very high or a top. Those days people will say, okay, I'm going to sit on top of a mountain and pray, and somewhere there is some slopiness, and then when he's going to go to meditation, he may fall down, because you do not know in that meditative state what is going to happen to you. So he says, don't sit in some top place. And even Omkarna Swami Soil in his praise, one person told me, I'm going to sit on top of that wall, parapet wall, Swamiji. Then, I'm going to see my Vairagyam. So, those kind of unnecessary, daring thing to go and sit on somewhere meditation. Or Ati Nicham. That is also something like that. Don't go and sit somewhere very shallow just because somebody said, guha, so I am digging and somewhere I'm going to sit. Don't do such thing as well. Not anything toe deep and somewhere that you do not know what is going to fall on your head. So these are common sense. Na ati nicham. Na ati nicham. This is very important. Na ati nicham. Atmanaha asanam. Your own asana. See, your own samskara is good for you. So, in the words from Gita here, one thing very, very secret here is don't share the asana with anyone. Your asanam is as personal to you as your spiritual progress. Asanam is never to be shared. Once you start sitting and doing this with yourself, keep it just for you. Atmanaha asanam. So in the olden days, you will see, people will float the deer skin and he will hold it and he will walk. And that's what he will sit and that's what he will give. But they never share asana. Because the Atma Samskaram that you sit and do the japa, see even japa, that Atmana Asanam is where it will certainly progress you. These are all, what can I say, Sukshma Rahasyam. It cannot be seen, it cannot be brought. Only people with experience that Krishna has said in this one. Atmanaha Asanam. And Stiram Tishtapya. Make it very firm. So that is why people sitting on pillows and doing it, it's not correct. Because it's not stiram, it's wobbling all the time. Or your back is going up and down. Just because the pillow is good, they sit on pillow and do. Pillow is not a stiram asana. Asana must be a atmanaha and it is a stiram asana. Must be a firm one, not a cushion. Sthiramasanam pratishtapya. So these are the preparation, pratishtapya. And these are also come in the Patanjali Sutra, but I will go to that later. So let's keep progressing. So once that has been pratishtapanam kritva, that is once you have prepared your asanam, your environment, your surrounding to the factor that it is conducive. So tomorrow immediately go after a deer farm or something, but see whatever best you can. Maybe in some places maybe it is even banned, who knows. Tatraikagram manah kritva yata chittendriya kriyah upavishyasane yunjat yogamatma vishuddhaye. Tatraikagram manah kritva yata chittendriya kriyah upavishyasane yunjat yogamatma vishuddhaye. So what now? Once that you have done that, the asana has been prepared, then now how do we start going into meditation? Tatra. Kutra? Tatra asane. In that asanam that you have thus prepared for yourself in the place. Tatra. Asane. Tatra ade vandirutanga. Tatra asane. Tatra asane. Tatra asane. In that asanam, what you have prepared even. And then upavishya. Upavishya means okandutu. Just sit down. Tatra asane upavishya. Sometimes, when we do all achamya, this is something. Tatra asane upavishya. Having that prasishtapya, tatra asane, sit down. How to sit down? Upavishya. Yata chitta indriya kriyaha. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. Again, here, kriyaha itself, meaning to say, these organs are always active before you sat on that posture. They have been, because they have been moving or you've been walking and everything. So they leave some reminiscence of those actions in that body faculties. And he says just that, yata chittendriya. Again, bring them into calmness. Not that you physically sit, make your internal faculties also sit. That's what it is. Just by physical sitting does not help. Make all of them sit down, make them also, because when you sit down, you are not going to move. Similarly, your thoughts, your mind, your faculties, many things can happen. Once you have sat, you said, what noise may come, what may come in that one, but I am not going to be moved. And that is what whitening those faculties. That is what yata chittendriya kriyaha in this particular one. Under one kagram. And now to get the mind into more control, these are all indriya kriyaha. Then the ekagram manah krutva. Manaha ekagram krutva. Manas, this mind, agram means in front. Eka means single pointed. So the attention that one person has is manaha has to be single point focused on the subject that we are going to meditate upon. That's implied here. Tatra, what did you say? Mana ekagram kritva. And so that is very important, that mana ekagram, drawing them into single pointed forces. The vritti, because the mana means it has got, mana is composed of the chittam, the memory bank, the thought process, and its sankalpa. And they are either of three. There is a good Artha Deepika. Madhusudana Saraswati goes very, very deep into that. He says, Kshipta, scattered area, stupefied moodaha, vikshiptaha, restless, all of them, whatever is scattered, bring them close. Whatever that is going up and down, bring them close. Everything, make an effort to bring. That's what Bhagavan says. You have to make an effort to bring it. And the effort is a continuous progressive effort. Manaha ekagram kritva, then Atma Vishuddhaye Yogam Yunjat. 9, 10, 11. Atma Vishuddhaye. So this is how it is going to help me in my purification of the interfaculties, Antakaranam. And this is a beautiful, that 5 minutes or the 10 minutes, which is like a very high potent for me to get that clarity for that particular purity. So Atma Vishuddhaye, for the extended purification of your internal faculties, internal Atma Vishuddhaye means you are saying here, now Atma is everything Shuddham, that is the abstract. Here Atma Vishuddhaye means the relative Atma, the body, mind and intellect complex, for that to be purified in the sense to remain the same tranquil order, Yogam Yunjat. Now do this Dhyana Yogam. And again, in the Yogam Yunjat, in this one, is what is this? Atma Samyama Yogam or Dhyana Yogam Yunjat. And we'll do one more. Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam Dharayan Nachalam Stiraha Samprekshanasika Gram Swam Dishaschanavalokayan. Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam Dharayanna Chalam Stiraha Samprekshanasikagram Swam Dishaschanavalokayan. Again, though he may come to the closing the eyes, before that, Bhagavan wants again to steady oneself to make sure that they are again prepared. What he wants to say is Kaya Shiraha Grivam. Kaya means this body. So this Kayam, when he says, because you're already sitting, this is a backbone. So in this Kaya means here it is your spinal cord. Kayaha. Then Shiraha, your head. Grivam, your neck. Samam. So make them in that one line, not either bent or like this or like the, all those sort of things. So Kaya Shiro Grivam Samam. Make that as steady as possible. To do that, if you sit in a pillow, you can't do. You got to wobble. So it has to be Sthiramasana. So Kaya Shiro Grivam Samam. After do that, Achalam Dharayan Stiraha. In that Achalam happens for both the body at this time, because it has done and it is tend to sway or something, just to kind of making sure that there is no much of a movement internally or externally. Dharayan, holding thus, Stiraha. We have a very steady one, not to be too tightly there or too loose, but just be holding in that position. Dharayan Stiraha. Stiraha. Okay. And then 8. Swam. So because this is all the body, the external body steadiness. Then for the control of the mind into that one, into which afterward the buddhi will come, he says, Swam Nasika Agram Sampreksha. Swam, in yours, your, or swam, of self. Nasika Agram means, Nasika Agram means in the tip of the nose. Sampreksha, bringing the eyes into that particular focus. And while bringing into the focus, it is only a starting point to do the drawing of the mind. Because the mind is all, Bhagavan will say more in this one. Mind is of the mind can be controlled by this. So the only thing is the eyes controls the mind in a lot of fashion. So by this repeated one, sampreksha, that concentrating that, then you're going to close the eyes. But then the focal point is not the nose point, because Bhagavan says very clearly in the Bhashyam, it is that Ishvara or that particular Upasana Devata or that particular concept on which you are going to meditate. This is only a guiding posture for that meditation. Swam Nasikagram Samprekshya, having focused that. Can Dishaha cha na avalokayan. Avalokay. Dishaha means do not look into any other sides. That avalokayan means anavalokayan. Dishascha anavalokayan. Avalokayan means looking. Na avalokayan becomes anavalokayan. Dishaha cha anavalokayan. Meaning to say, not looking around in any other directions outside. Okay, so this is again Lokayan. Shall I do one more or no? Should I finish with this one?
You can do one more.
Okay. Prashantatma vigatabhihi brahmachari vrate sthitaha manasanyam yamachittaha yukta asita matparaha. Okay. So then again, because now we have practiced and we have come to that point of meditation in that particular as stipulated in Gita, then Bhagavan says, in also more conducive to these ones is also, he says, brahmachari pratesthitaha. So in that brahmachari vrata, so what is that brahmachari vrata? That we must understand. And what, according to Gita and as per the Bhashya that is given here, is in a not only in a vow of celibacy, that he has got no thoughts, and because that is one of the most distracting effect from a mind control and for a person to meditate, but also remaining in the service of the Guru and then having the food obtained by alms. That is what he has had, that bhiksha, having that. Guroho bhikshaha. So this goes for a really, in the ultimate brahmachari vrata, it goes to that kind of a control, where that is why it's called brahmachari. So in all aspects, one is when he's vow celibacy and into he or she, that is one brahmachari vratam, but also remaining with the Guru and then only eating what the Guru has given him. That is a brahmachari vratam. And he is something like that sthitaha. So, in fact, in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa book, very clearly he says, a person who remains thus with a vow of celibacy and with the Guru's direction, remaining steadfast in what he has told for 12 years, automatically attains samadhi. He guarantees. He not only gets a siddhi, he or she automatically, he or she, when she closes her eyes, she does not have to do samprekshanasikagram. She just immediately goes into samadhi. So this brahmachari vrata is a very, very, very important one for meditation. Brahmachari vrata vina dhyanam na sishyate. So brahmachari vrate sthitaha. So this is on all times how this is being conducive for meditation. And vigata, because when he is now going into samadhi, we have not come into samadhi, we have only gone to meditation, but after meditation he is going to go into samadhi. When you go into samadhi, I'll come in the next class, there are two types of samadhi, savikalpa samadhi and nirvikalpa samadhi, or pragyata samadhi, asampragyata samadhi. They both are same meaning. At that time, you do not have any consciousness of your identity. So a fear may come while going into it. Oh, what will happen to me? Oh, I'm losing completely identity, losing my own identity. That comes then you can't go into that samadhi. That is why Bhagavan says, Vigata bihi. If that be so, God, this is up to you. I do not care about anything. Whether I even get up out of the samadhi, I do not know. But I surrender to you and I'm going into the samadhi. That kind of a vairagyam. So that's what Vigata bihi means. Vigata bihi is that kind of a vairagya with which you go into this samadhi. Vigata bihi and prashantatma. And he is totally in prasannata antaratma. And he is so happy and tranquil in oneself. It is not an induced happiness or an induced calmness. It is by itself, it has become calm. Prashantatma, with that inner tranquility of his inner faculties in a very calm manner. Then what is this? Manasanyamya. Making the mind free of any modification. Samyamya. Mana samyamya means, again, mana ekagram, mana samyamya, one more thing. But this time, mana is deposited into the buddhi, which is atma jnanam. And atma jnanam then takes him into that buddhi, telling that, yes, mat paraha. Mat paraha means having me. That mat here, Bhagavan says, because of Krishna's words, mat paraha. Mat means here, oh Lord Krishna, oh Parameshwara, oh Parvati, you are paraha. Why should I have the Vigata bihi? What is my mind has got anything? So here it is a Savikalpa Samadhi. Because your Parama Drishti or Parama focus is on that Ishvara. So Mat Paraha. Mat Paraha. Mat Chittaha. That he is my ultimate goal. Anything else in this goal, in this life, is everything is of I don't care. And that mat chittaha, and that kind of a chittam in all the memory and everything that you thought about that Ishvara, in that mat chittaha yuktaha. In that completely deposited from the buddhi and manas, everything into that Ishvara. Asita. And that is how he remains in that meditation. So Bhagavan here very clearly said about that focus the mind and how that all these things helps in that meditation. Though we saw in today's class a lot of things which may be not very conducive for a lot of people in the Grihastha, but to the extent it is possible, we make that environment suitable for meditation, and with the Gita's pramanam, and with what we do like that, certainly will benefit. And I can also vouch from my own experience. Yes, it has benefited me and benefited a lot of people. So certainly in these ones, you can apply. These are portions which are very valuable because they are Krishna's Sakshat words and they are condensed from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And with that, I think I will finish. Or yeah, with that, I will finish today. And next class, we will go more into the other one. Okay. Any doubt in what I had today? As you know, these classes, I'm not asking people to repeat because I want to have the continuity, and you're all now good in chanting. I know most of you are. So, the chanting, what I've done, when you listen to the video, you can also practice from there. But then the essence of it, we can go together. So that's the reason I'm not getting people to chant for people who do not know. Any doubts, anything that you have, please let me know. 2 minutes. Okay. Om Tatsat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Atma Samyama Yogo Nama Shashtodhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tatsat Ata Gita Mahadhyam